Hey guys, just a quick video to show you how to create the lid for the box that you'll be building in ITD. This is a finished lid. I'm now going to show you how to do it from the start. So to do that, I'm going to see if I can exit out of that, and this is my remote desktop. To get onto the remote desktop, you're going to need to get onto Teams, okay, and follow the steps that are found under your class notebook, learning cycle number 2, and you'll download a file called your CPUB file using this link here. Follow the instructions, it's very simple. One thing that I haven't mentioned here is that make sure you've got an icon that looks the same as this, and then you have the correct version for the remote desktop. So you've got your remote desktop and it's going to look like this once you load it up. Make sure you wait at least a minute for it to load up fully. You'll see a black screen come and go. That's the licensing for this program. It's important that you wait for that to happen. We have a template here. You need to use this template because it has all the settings for the cutting and engraving. If you left click on that template, drag it on top of RDWorks, which is the program we're doing, it will open up for you. This template here is fairly good to work with. If you click on this box, that box is going to be a cut value, so 7mm a second with 75% power of the laser, and it's 200 by 200. Very unlikely that that will suit your needs. So if I click on here, I've got some photos of my box. So let's start off with the length of the box. So we need to allow for our two 25mm folds for our lid. To do that, we're going to add on 50mm to the total length of our box. So when you put your ruler in, you're going to put it into this groove here, and you'll lay your ruler into there and you're going to take a measurement. So I'll be looking for the end of my box, and this one here is 155mm long. Like I said before, you're going to add 50mm to that. Real lightly with pencil, I'll get you to write your working on your actual box. So write it along here, 155 plus 50 equals 205. You're then going to go into RDWorks and you will come to your length here and you're going to change that to 205. Well, you won't go 205, you'll go whatever your measurement is, and that box will change length. After you've done that, you're then going to need to figure out the width. So the width is taken by measuring, hopefully I've got a photo here, from groove to groove. So you're going to put your ruler in. This next photo shows it better, I hope. Maybe this one. Computer's very slow, sorry guys. From groove to groove. So from inside of groove to inside of groove. So when I measure mine, it measures 89mm long. So if there's 90 minus 1, that's my 89mm long. I'm going to subtract 2 from that measurement. So 2mm will be subtracted. Once again, write your workings on your job very lightly with a pencil so that you can sand it off later, but write it on there so you don't forget. So I need 87mm. You'll notice that you can't change this value unless that is selected. So we need 87. I'm then going to press enter, and that's changed the dimensions of that box. I'm then going to move the box so that the end of it pretty well lines up with one of these grid lines. These grid lines are 50mm apart. And the reason I do that is because we're going to create a bit of a visual representation for our no-go zone. Earlier I showed a photo of the end of the lid once it is folded. We don't want any graphics or text in this area. You can just see it there of that lid, because you won't be able to see it and you won't be able to read it. Hopefully I got a photo. I'm trying to get these Google Photos to work. It's a bit slow tonight. Must be because of the storm. So that area in there, guys, you will not be able to see it. So we're going to call it our no-go zone. And it works out to be pretty much 100 millimeters. We go back to RDWorks now. So I'll go back to RDWorks, and we're going to make sure that we have nothing in that 100 millimeter no-go zone. So remember, it was 50 plus 50. So with your text, you can double click on this text and you can change it to whatever text you want. You don't have to have text. Okay, so I'll change that. I can then grab the corner of my text, change the size of it. There's my no-go zone, so I make sure I'm not crossing that 100 mil line. And so that's looking pretty good. I'm now going to show you, I'll click on that text and I'll make sure that it is blue, so it's definitely being scanned in. If I then click on this image here, I'm going to delete it. Now you might have to go function delete on your Mac to get rid of it, or you can use this red cross once you've got something selected. Go to Google, and if you Google the word decal with whatever you're trying to find, you'll get some nice black and white images. This is the best style of image to put into the laser because it can pick up the colors quite well and give you a very very easy and nice result from these simple pictures. So you're going to right click or select one of these images so you get it to its biggest size possible, then do a right click and save, and you'll save it to your name on the directory. Under documents, you want to create a folder called Year 8 Graphics, Year 8 ITD. So with that, I'm then going to import that image. I'll click on import, and you can see here under the directory here I've got my name, so that's the user of the remote desktop. I've clicked on documents and I've created a new folder called Year 8 ITD. If you save on the desktop, I say this 1,000 times in class, if you save on the desktop of your remote desktop, you will lose all of your work. It needs to be saved under your name. Here comes this image. It's coming in. It's way too big. I'm going to left click in the corner here. I'm going to hold down Shift so that I don't change the scale and proportion of the drawing. And I'm going to place that image underneath there. You'll see this scan value. It's a blue one. We don't want blue. We want a black BMP, and that will give us the right settings. Once you've done that, guys, you're going to need to save this drawing. Because it's a template, the save button's not going to work. You're going to need to go File, Save As. Now, once again, you don't want to be on the public desktop. You want to go under your name, Documents. Here's the folder that I've created. And here's one I've prepared earlier. So I've called it My Name. And one thing that I haven't done, which is a bit of a no-no, I want to call it My Name and what class I'm in. So you might be in 8C or 8E, whatever it is. You're going to put that class in there so it's a bit easier to find once we email it. So I'm going to save that. And then guys, you're going to email it to, now I'm just going to pause the video because I've forgotten the email address. Why is that not working? Here it is. So guys, you'll email it, and I'll put it into Teams for you now as well, to unitycnc@bne.catholic.edu.au. Now, with that guys, I'm going to put some responsibility back on you because we've made this pretty easy for you already. If you do not have the correct colours, green for a cut, blue for a scan, black for a picture, I'm going to delete your email and get you to send it again. So you need to make sure that you're checking these colours, checking these values before you do the email. Rightio. Best of luck with that, guys. Any issues with your remote desktop, best off doing a restart of your computer. So a full restart, not just a lid close, do a full restart. And the other thing too, guys, if you ever have an issue with your remote desktop, click on the little window, click on the little fella down there, and if you just sign out and sign back in again, that can help too if you're ever having any issues. Hopefully this video helped you.